Hello everyone, and welcome to 2023. As a matter of fact, welcome also to the very first Media Excalibur video for 2023. Before I start with anything in this video, I just want to recap how this video is going to play out for you all. I want this to be a very simplistic, laid-back relaxation of a video. What that means is that visually on screen, you're not going to be seeing that much. It's just going to be some nice TF2 gameplay from the past, and the main thing to focus on will be what I'm saying out of my mouth. So you can sit back and listen to this video like a podcast, pretty much. Because I am so... I'm trying to think of a good way to say this. I am tired of not being able to make videos for the entirety of January. Because I've spent this entire month working on a single video, which I thought was going to be like, oh, it's just, simplistic, it'll be fine, it'll be easy. No, it turns out that this video has taken me way longer than it should be. And I realized that if I keep this up with prioritizing this over regular uploads on the channel, you're not going to be hearing from me for a very long time. So this video is also simultaneously going to be just a bit of an update to say, hey, I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm still making videos. My channel has not been abandoned. I'm still here. Now, the video in question that I've been working on, if you've seen my community post, you will already know what this is. But for those who haven't seen it, allow me to summarize that post here. I am currently in the midst of making 4 videos to celebrate the channel's 10-year anniversary. Now, 2 of those videos have already been created. The first one was in relation with SMG4, because I make videos for SMG4 and I've been doing so for the last 3 years. And the second one was indeed an original comedy song from Mr. Kayak. The music video was a collab with a very good friend, Bandy Patty, and she helped with so much with that song. Like, you have no idea how unbelievably talented she is, and I really do hope that just that alone, you check her channel out. I am really excited with the stuff that we're going to be doing with each other in the future, music related. And I mean that in the terms of both Mr. Kayak songs and even parody songs. Like, oh, even I'm excited. Now, the third video, and the one that I've been talking about, is indeed a best of Media Excalibur video. How this has been working is I've been going through every single one of the videos that I've uploaded to both of my channels. This one and indeed Maniacs Plays. The only reason why I'm not including Media Excalibur shorts to this is because that channel is literally just content from the first 2 channels that's been condensed down to a short format. So it's pretty much just the exact same video, but with a different resolution, pretty much. Now, the video itself, the third video, is currently over 2 hours long. And I have a feeling that I'm either going to be able to condense it to be around the 2-hour mark, or this might even be longer than that. I wouldn't be surprised if the end result resulted this in being a nearly 3-hour video. And when I realized how long this video was going to be, I was like, okay, this is not going the way that I expected. I need to make sure that video production continues on this channel. Otherwise, I don't think people are going to be seeing me until what, next month. So, how I've decided to solve this is I've taken the 4th video out of the 4 and pushed that in front of the 3rd video. So I make this video, I upload it, and then I can continue making the videos that I usually make on this account while at the same time working on this big video in particular. So with that out of the way, that finally being explained in a video format like this, now it's time to get into the big topic. The big looking back at life moment for myself. Because 10 years, I made this channel. And looking back at life, obviously, it's crazy not only how quick life has gone for me, but also that I was able to stick with an account for more than 10 years. I've been making a lot of videos in my lifetime. YouTube was one of those places that once I discovered that you could find a community that liked the same stuff that you did, it was obviously very difficult to really not think about it or really kind of focus on other particular things. I've kind of recapped the story of me with YouTube so much, and I'm pretty certain that there's like a YouTube milestone video in the past that explains this, but obviously it would seem a bit unfitting if I didn't paraphrase the story once again here. So, to kind of recap with me, myself, and the internet. When I started high school, I ended up discovering that I was a really big fan of Crash Bandicoot. And when you don't have the internet growing up, you're only really restricted with the video games you own, and anytime you see it in like television commercials or you're going to the shopping center and you see the game on display. You know, I remembered, funny enough, I remembered believing that Crash Bash came before Crash Team Racing because I used to base my chronological order of the games on which games I saw first in shopping centers. So I remembered seeing Crash Bash, for some reason, Crash Bash before CTR, so I always thought that game came out before that game, and it was a bit of a mind blown to realize that I was wrong for a very long period of time. So when I ended up realizing that there's this big place called the internet where you could do your research and find out, you know, more about this franchise, I found myself being addicted to it. And unfortunately, based upon the kind of community of classmates that I went to in high school, I found myself being isolated because I realized very quickly that I was the only person that liked Crash Bandicoot, and everyone else who didn't like it believed that because someone had a different like from everyone else should be bullied. That was basically it in a nutshell. Like, I remember a very particular story where I was just looking up Crash Bandicoot in the library computers, and some kid who was like 3 years older than me was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I'm just like, "Oh, I'm just looking up Crash Bandicoot on the internet." And he said to me, and I remember this very clearly because it stuck out for me from every other insult, he said, "Oh, only F-slurs like Crash Bandicoot." That was his actual response. And I'm thinking to myself, like, one, why would you result in saying a word like that just because someone likes something that you don't like? And secondly, I was like, Crash Bandicoot sold, like, at the time, they sold over 20 million units of their video games. Is that really worth insulting over because it's made Naughty Dog a lot of money? Well, not only Naughty Dog, it was Activision and all the other companies that owned Crash Bandicoot at the time. And yeah, like when I discovered YouTube, I found myself being in a position where I could interact with other people who liked the same stuff I did. And obviously I found myself being on the computers more because, well, from my retrospective, it made more sense to stick with the people who appreciated you because you liked something that they also liked than being surrounded by people who really didn't care about you at all. I remembered, it started, like, it literally just started with Google searches, pretty much. Like, collecting images and saving them on a USB. And then eventually, I found someone watching a Family Guy video on a website. You know, you might have heard of it. It was called YouTube. And I was like, oh, instead of me just finding images of Crash Bandicoot, I could find videos. And I remember that the only main things I used to do was just archiving every single Crash Bandicoot video that I wanted to keep. So anything from like Japan that was about Crash Bandicoot, I was collecting them. When people were even just playing like levels from video games. Because I remembered as a kid, I saw Crash Bandicoot 3 and I always wanted to play it, but I never got the game growing up. So what I used to do was I used to find videos of people playing particular levels and just download them as YouTube videos. And now people are like, wait, no, you couldn't download. Oh, yes, you could. Yes, you could download. There was a website I remembered. I don't think it exists, but it was called like TechCrunch. And it would literally download it as a file. Not like a video file. It was just a file. And you had to download a program called VLC Media Player because it was the only application at the time that actually could play these files. And I remembered what you had to do was you had to open it in VLC and then you had to convert it in VLC into a WMV, a Windows Media Video. And I remember that every time I used to do this, the beginning always used to have green. It used to have green and it would kind of like pixelate away because it was like an encoding thing at the time. And then obviously, as the story goes, at the same time, I was also watching this TV show called Good Game. And it was from that show that I ended up discovering TF2, because they were talking about characters with the best facial hair. One of those characters was the Demo Man, and they played Meet the Demo. I watched it, I laughed so hard, I'm like, I want to find who this character is. I got mistaken at first, but then I found the Good Game website, and I was able to re-find the character, and that's how I discovered TF2. And then I ended up realizing that this website, which I always saw as a hobby, could actually turn into a sort of occupation, because they introduced this partner program. Because if I remember correctly, from 2011 or 2010 before, you could not make money on YouTube at all. It wasn't until Google brought YouTube when they started introducing the ability to make money from it. Because obviously, you know, Google is not going to buy YouTube and just leave it the way it is, because they will lose money. They need to make their money back. So that's why they started introducing, you know, third-party stuff and the ability to monetize your videos. And it gave a lot of people out there who started originally as a hobby. You know, you had AVGN, Equals Free, Smosh, Fred. Oh, there's a lot. Channel Awesome, Jenna Marbles. And they were the first ones in particular to actually turn these little hobbies into an actual job. And I always thought to myself, you know, aside from doing, you know, university and, you know, making sure that I'm doing something outside of YouTube, I was like, you know what? When I have free time from reality, I want to invest my time into making YouTube videos, because who knows what could happen. And from that day comes the present day. And you look back at your life, everything that's happened. You look at the bright moments of your life, you look at the dark moments of your life, you look at the videos that you loved making and are considered your favorite videos, and then you look back at the videos that never should have been made in the first place. And you look how you're now approaching the future. It's really crazy to just summarize everything at the end of the day. On the path that I've taken with making YouTube videos for this long, I've found myself reaching milestones that you know, you always dream of. Like, when you see someone accomplish something, right? Like, you know, 1 million views, 1 million subscribers, going on the trending tab, you know, you always imagine what it would be like to be in this position. But when it ever happens to you, you don't really know how to retaliate to it. You know, I used to look at videos that get 1 million views, and then you're just like, oh, if that happened to me, I would say this and do this, and I would be able to handle that when it arrives. But then you actually get 1 million views, and you're just kind of mind blown at the ability where something that you thought was really impossible to get is something that you now have and accomplished. Obviously, the two biggest ones is the fact that this channel has got nearly 180,000 subscribers. You know, but just keep in mind, like, 100,000 subscribers was a big milestone for me. And it's taken less, probably about even like a quarter, or less than a quarter, of that time to get nearly another 100,000 subscribers. You know, it took about, what, I think roughly, I could be wrong, but I think it took me about roughly 8 years to get 100,000 subscribers, maybe 8.5. The other thing I wanted to mention that I've accomplished was the amount of growth that I got from the We Don't Talk About Pyro video. Looking back, I still can't even believe that even happened. And, you know, I've summarized this in that video in particular, but it's just one of those, like, I saw an opportunity and I went for it, and it paid off beautifully. The funniest bit out of that video still is I had to get my laptop repaired, and I was like, okay, I need to upload one video before I can ship my laptop out, and it was the Pyro video. And it was just amazing where it's like, you know, oh, I can't make videos for a period of time. And while that happens, you know, you get a viral hit and you find yourself using the family computer because you're like, oh, great. You know, when my laptop was working, you know, oh, no viral videos. The moment my laptop is broken and I have to ship it to Xenogenic to get it fixed, oh, now we get a viral video. Like, even the growth that it got, it took 5 days to get 1 million views, and then from that day, it took a week and a bit to get 10 million views. It was getting 1 million views a day. You know, I always thought that, you know, the most viral video I would ever get would only get 1 million views, and now I have a video with 13 million. 13. I think what kind of snuck underneath was like, I had 2 more videos that got, actually no, not even 2 more. I got like 4 more that got 1 million views. It's still amazing to look back at all the hard work that I've put into growing a channel and finding yourself, like, you know, once upon a time, you used to have videos that got very small amount of views. And now you're in a position where those videos are now getting tens of thousands of views, hundreds and thousands of views. I have so many like, I remember being like, oh, a video with 100,000 views seems so far, but I reckon I could get it. You know, it was a goal at the very beginning, and now it's so common that it's just turned into the norm for me. And I'm not just referring to YouTube, I'm referring to every single social media website I have. I have a TikTok account that exploded in the 2 years I've had it, where I've got 2 videos that got millions of views, and every single other one has got hundreds of thousands of views as well. I have multiple viral tweets. All I did, because I learned this maybe too late, but I ended up realizing it, but I was able to kind of fix this mistake. Websites in particular, like Twitter, don't like it when you direct people to different links. So when you post a YouTube link in a tweet, Twitter will not really boost that as much as it will with one without a YouTube link, because they want people to stay on Twitter. They don't want people to leave Twitter and go to a different website. And I know, like, going back on topic. I know that every time you hear a YouTuber say this, it sounds like a broken record. But I'm gonna still say it because I truly mean what I say. And that is thank you to everyone for helping this channel become what it is. Thank you for helping videos reach milestones I've never thought I would reach. Thank you for growing this channel to where it is today. And thank you for helping Mediascalibur becoming something that is now making people go like, oh, I recognize that name. Oh, that name rings a bell. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But with that being said, obviously no positive doesn't come without its negatives. And sometimes in the midst of video production, and you find yourself experiencing rough days. And obviously, during these rough days, you might find videos getting less views than usual. You might find yourself making videos you never should have made in the first place, or you don't want to make at all. But what I want to do is give you 2 pieces of advice to help any upcoming content creator in what they want to do. Actually, there's 3 of them, not 2, 3. The first one is to be patient. Patience is the key. You find a lot of people thinking that success comes immediately, but it's mainly for those who are patient in being able to wait for the perfect opportunity to strike. All you need to do is make sure that you are present when that opportunity arrives. Because if you give up too soon, you will miss your opportunity and you will never even knew it existed in the first place. The second one is to be humble. Finding growth in anything can sometimes bring out the worst in people. Sometimes it's short bursts, other times it's long continuous bursts. You find yourselves in positions where a video, which is a very bad idea, is approached as the best idea at that period of time. So when you see yourself in that position, you need to be able to point out if it's being disguised and stop yourself before that video is being made. Trust me, nothing good will come out of that. And lastly, make the videos you want to make. It is always possible for anyone to accomplish this goal, no matter if you're just about to start or you find yourself in a position where your channel is only known for one particular type of entity. If you've just started, you're all good to go. Make what you want and keep pushing yourself in that direction. Even if one video gets more views than another, make sure you keep mixing things around. Because if you only do the same type of video, then you'll find yourself only doing one type of video, and trust me, it will get stale. However, if you're in a position like, let's say, I don't know, you have a YouTube channel that mainly does TF2, and you find yourself only doing TF2, hope is not lost. You can either make a second YouTube channel, or you can make a Twitch account and live stream there. Or if you prefer to stream on YouTube, you can do that as well. Because you need to remember, at the end of the day, it's not about growth, it's not about views. It's being able to be happy. And if you put yourself in that position, you will be happy. And as an example of this, I made MediX Plays. MediX Plays, my second channel, is used for me to upload anything I want to it. And by doing so, I have finally been able to do the one thing that I've always wanted to do: branch out my content. And by having that second channel, I've successfully been able to accomplish it. And thus, our 10-year retrospective has concluded. And all to talk about now is the future, which I am very, very excited about. I have got so many ideas at this moment. It's biting me up so much inside. I am just itching to get right back into making videos. I have so many videos on the backlog that I want to make. I'm just hoping I could find time to be able to make these videos. I really do. There will be way more animations, there will be way more spray distraction challenges, way more social media videos, and way more parody songs, including Mr. Kayak. You'll be seeing a lot more of him, I guarantee you. I am very looking forward in 2023, and I hope that you all are excited just as much as me. So here I am, signing out. See you again, and who knows what might happen in the very next 10 years from this very day.